It is not your fault that you cannot find a girl to date, or that you are struggling to make friends, or even that you're trying to get a job and it's just not working. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've been thinking about it, and there is a lot of luck to life that I think people do not recognize. Let's start with what did I say first? Dating. Dating is the kind of thing that most often, I believe, it's because you happened to be in the right place at the right time. I believe that most people they don't want to admit that a lot of the time it's not because you were undesirable or that you have some problem with you, like a skill issue, literally. It's just because you happened to be in a certain location at a certain time where it just didn't work out, you know? Like my girlfriend, I've been with her for almost 7 years now, and we both went to the same high school, and we both, grew up together in that sense. And I didn't do that on purpose, I didn't do anything to deserve that. And I mean, that's not to disregard like all of the things of, you have to maintain a relationship and that's difficult, but I was just in that location at that time, and that's why it started. And I think about one of my good friends has never dated, and he's struggled like hell on Tinder, getting ghosted or just not finding girls that he meshes with, and I sometimes wish I would just say, dude, it might not be you. It might just be that you're looking in the wrong place. Like, is the kind of girl that you want to date gonna be on Tinder? Like, maybe not. And I mean, there are exceptions to the rule because I have another friend who is with his girlfriend of 2 or 3 years, I think, and they met on Tinder. And I think she was his like second or third message. It was very short until he found her, and he was like, okay, well, I mean, worked out, I guess. And that's just because like he got lucky. And now hold on. It is very important to admit that sometimes you got to look in yourself and say, is there something wrong with me? Because maybe I clickbaited a little bit at the start, but there are definitely times I think where you maybe like on a date, you're talking too much about yourself. Maybe you are not reciprocating questions enough, and she's not really into it. Like there are definitely things to screw up, but I want people to recognize that it's not always your fault. And maybe you just happened to be, maybe you're not looking in the right spot. Like my sister the other day, she was asking me if I was not dating my girlfriend and I had to engage in the dating market and, Tinder or something, what would I do? Would I go to bars? Would I go out? And I mean, in a certain way, yeah, I would have to go out and ask people like, hey, what do you do? Like try to put myself out there. But I said something like, I don't think I would go to bars because I know that the kind of girl that I would be into probably doesn't go to bars because I don't go to bars. So it's not a scene that I would like know what to do with myself in. And this connects to friendships because my girlfriend, she's currently in grad school, and she has been struggling to make friends for sure. And she has said things like, "Oh, well, all these girls, their interests are different. They're not really like she's very outdoorsy, and none of these girls are into the outdoors and hiking. Most of them just want to party or drink or something." And I tell her that, maybe this is just not the place for your kind of friend. It's not the kind of place that you're going to find people that you like, because clearly most people are like, "Oh, I just want to get drunk." And, I feel for her because I probably would not mesh with any of those people either. And like my friends, again, connecting back to my girlfriend, I've known them since high school. Some of them as young as when I was like 10 years old. And that's just because I happened to be in that spot at that time. And it's not because I was, some guru that was like super good at socializing. I just, over a decade plus of time, got to know these people, and now I have really good friends. Let's talk about jobs, all right? I mentioned that at the top of the video. My sister, I mentioned her again, she worked so hard for this job recently. She went all the way to New York to interview. She put in a ton of effort, and then they just hired someone else internally, like another candidate that was already at the company, and they just shifted some roles around, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, sucks that my sister didn't get it." And she was really, really bummed out. Like that really stung because she took the time to go to New York, and it was a big production, and yeah, it sucked for sure. But I told her And, same exact logic as the previous things about dating and friends, is that clearly you just were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there's nothing you could have done to know that they were going to hire that internal candidate. You clearly put in 100% effort. You went to New York, you did all the things that you could do, and it just happened the way it did. And I think she got in her own head for a while. She's probably over it now, but at the time she was like, I mean, is there something wrong with me? Was I a bad interviewer or interviewee? And I just, I can understand that logic, and it makes sense to think that there's something wrong with you, because when you have these constant things, like my friend keep repeatedly getting ghosted on Tinder, not being able to find a girl, eventually you're like, okay, clearly something's wrong with me, because this is a repeating occurrence. I'm constantly getting shot down. I'm not getting the results that I want, and it's very easy to think that the problem lies within, and often it does. I don't want to disregard the fact that some people, they have problems to work out. Like my friend with Tinder, maybe he's being too cynical, or maybe he is doing something that girls just don't like about him, and he needs to work on that or something. Because I do believe that everyone can improve themselves, but I just want to make it clear that it's not always your fault. People have this idea that everything is on you. You need to take 100% accountability for everything that happens in your life, and if a car hits you in traffic, that was your fault. Like, that's stupid. I think we all know that's stupid. Sometimes things happen that are shitty and it sucks, and that's just how it is. And I mean, I don't honestly have a solution to this, with wrong place, wrong time, like my sister not getting that job interview. There's probably nothing else she could have done. And you just have to learn to accept the fact that things happen in your life that you don't have any control over, and you need to move on or find ways to live with that. And that's not to say that you can never get to your goal. These kinds of things of getting shot down on a date or something, it's just a speed bump along the way. It's not like that has to be your life forever. And yeah, I mean, it sucks in the moment, like not getting that job, but just go on to the next one. Find another thing to pursue. For whatever reason, it didn't work out, and you did everything you possibly could have done. And like you might go on a date and you felt like it went really well, and then you don't hear from her ever again, and you're like, what did I do wrong? Nothing, dude. You could have done something wrong, but you might not have done anything wrong. Maybe they're saving you, like you're dodging a bullet. Maybe that girl was really rude and didn't want to respond to you, or maybe my sister not getting that job, maybe the boss would have been really mean, and the work environment would have been really difficult. I don't know. Anything can happen, and like people have like kind of a, oh, it's a sign from the universe. Like, I don't really believe that either, of not getting the job or something. But I am saying you just need to learn to roll with the punches, because life is going to throw them at you, whether you like it or not, and you just have to find a way to live with that. But that's all I had to say, so I'll catch you later.